How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Unsigned Pop Punk Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Tarnowski. Gibby isn't with us today, and that's okay, because we've got Cleveland artist Skuff Micksun.
What's
Skuff,
up, dude?
welcome to the show, man.
Thanks, man. We finally did
We did it. We're here.
it.
We've made it.
Good to be here. I feel good.
Good. That's you. You know, you look good.
You too, man. Appreciate that.
Thanks. It's probably my unsigned pop punk metal shirt I got.
Ooh, that's fire,
It,
actually.
it's pretty cool. Like you can't see all of it, but
That
like
is fire. I did not know you
skateboards.
guys had those.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite one. And I wish it I feel like it should be the top selling shirt we have, but it's not. The
Really?
the classic tee. That's
Yeah, people love a classic tee, man.
I know.
That's like the kind of shirt I used to like get kicked out of high school for wearing like my metal shirts that said like horrible things on them now that I really like think about. I was in ninth grade wearing a crazy shirt that said
Oh
some
yeah.
like wild, you know,
Oh yeah.
those
Like
metal
those
things.
dude,
Relentless.
those like 2010 and 12 like shirts, they were out of hand. They were
They
out of
really
control.
were. Yeah. It was bad. I had one cool teacher that used to just make me duct tape over them so I
Yeah.
could stay in school. But like most of my teachers were like, just go home. I was like,
Yeah.
what? Why? They're
Uh,
like, dude, come on.
I don't even know why. I don't even know why. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew. I knew. And I
Oh,
thought that shit was cool. So
oh yeah. We all did. And now
yeah.
looking back at it, we're like, wow, we're
Like I
such
wouldn't even say
pieces of
that.
shit. Yeah. I would never say that. But
Totally.
13-year-old me was a real hard ass.
Yeah. Yeah. In my hardcore era, in my sister's jeans.
Oh,
Yeah, we
dude.
started that.
Oh yeah. That was a time, man. I remember like when that was so skinny jeans when they became popular, the only way you could get them was by getting girl pants because they didn't
100%.
they
Yeah.
didn't
Didn't
make
have guy skinny jeans.
yeah, they didn't make skinny jeans for
No.
guys yet. And so, you either had to like go with your girlfriend if you were uncomfortable, or
Hmm.
you just eventually we all got comfortable. We knew our sizes
Oh yeah.
and
I
you
was a
know,
double. I was a zero or double zero forever, and my sister would be like, "That's so annoying. Like I'm a three." And I was like, "Well, I don't know what to tell you."
yeah. And I that that time period was also great because you wore the girl pants and then the skinniest shirt, the tightest shirt you could.
Oh
Like
yeah.
if you wore larges now, you
Yeah.
wore a small then. You know?
Totally. And like back then, it was like I was in that weird transition. You know, when you're a kid, you're just doing what you think is cool, not like what you actually feel like. You're just kind of doing what other people that you think are cool are doing. And like I went from wearing like tall white tees in my like Nelly and 50 Cent stage straight to like the tiniest shirt you could possibly wear with the tightest pants, like
Yeah.
I remember like people at my school being like, bro, like I'm not even trying to be rude, but like, how do you get into those?
Yeah.
And it was like, bro, it's hard. It's
Yeah.
not easy. Like these are ridiculously tight. These are not just some bell bottoms. These are like you really got to squeeze into these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What a
No,
dated time in our history, like so dated.
same thing though. I went from the Blink 182 look, which was the fucking Dickies, the
Oh yeah,
baggy ass Dickies and the
I got
baggy
Dickies
ass.
on right now.
I normally would.
Yeah, dude,
I have my Dickies. I brought them back out because they're so comfortable.
they're so good.
But you had like the Dickies pants or long ass Dickies shorts, and
Yep.
then some sort of like famous stars and straps shirt or a Hurley shirt
Yeah,
or
nailing it, dude.
Macbeth. You had one of those, shirts for sure, and it was
Hmm.
baggy-ish, and then, went from that to like as tight as possible.
Yeah.
Dude, fashion's weird.
It's a weird thing, and it's all like weirdly coming back.
I
Like my
know.
brother-in-law, who's like 36,
Yeah,
35 or something, like he just bought Jinko jeans.
dude.
And they're like the huge, like he could fit uh a PlayStation
Yeah,
2 in the back pocket.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
crazy. And he was like, "Yeah, bro, I saw that they were back in and I jumped on it." I was like, this is weird seeing all that. Like, even I mean emo in general, like the whole scene is like very much it's different, but it's
yeah,
back. It's
yeah,
back in like its most extreme form. But back then, I remember, my parents being like, "What are you doing?"
yeah,
And like, of course, they didn't get it. They still loved me, but they were
yeah,
like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I don't know." Wearing beanies in the summer, all black in the summer, just like everything about it was. It was. We were committed to the
yeah.
fucking bit. That's for sure. No,
And
I don't. Can I swear? My bad.
oh, please do.
Okay.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean when I was wearing Jinkos the first time, you know, you weren't cool unless you had the
No,
baggiest ones. You had like your fucking bottoms were completely torn to shreds from dragging on the ground.
just walking on them. Yeah.
Yep. And like there no you don't know uncomfortable. Like you can be in the tightest shit, right? And we wore the tightest shit, but you don't know uncomfortable until it's a rainy fucking day in Jinkos.
That's so true, dude. They're like 55 pounds extra.
Yeah, and wet up to your knee.
That's so funny because my brother-in-law literally said word for word, he's like, "Bro, they're so comfy." And I was
Yeah.
like, "You're lying, dude. Like, there's no way."
Homie, we already did this. We
Yeah, we
know what
know.
it's like.
I'm
Like,
trying to
did
talk me into it.
yeah, are you cool? Are you Jinko twin cannons cool, motherfucker?
The twin can holy shit, that's so nostalgic. That's hilarious. The twin cannons.
Twin cannons.
Wow.
So
Yeah, you
good.
got the chain wallet.
Uh-huh.
I used to like
Oh
pinch my
yeah.
hair into the little like I don't even know where that came from. Like I don't know who did that or why I did that, but that was such a thing. Like gelled, like tiny spikes all over my head, and I wondered like why people made fun of me. And now I see pictures. Like I just went to my grandfather's funeral, unfortunately, but there was all these like awesome memories on the picture boards, and I'm like, you guys couldn't have picked one picture where like Papa might have been not even proud of me, but just able to say that's my grandson because I looked crazy back in the day. Like I look
Yeah.
at myself, I'm like, oh, I get it now. I see why people made fun of me. I mean, it's still not nice, but I get it.
Yeah. You got your Jinkos on, you got a corn shirt.
100%. Yeah. And 10 years from now, I'll think the same thing about me right now. I'll look back and be like, what was that haircut? What was that fit that I had on? It's like, it's so ever changing. It's wild.
Yeah, but realistically, think about this though, with fashion, and not only just fashion, but like just the way like we are. So like the Jinkos, the fucking baggy shirts and the fucking weird gross bleach blonde hair stuff we
Yeah.
did, right?
The
That
tips.
that lasted a couple years.
Literally.
A couple
They
years.
were like a
When
couple important years when we were growing up, which is why it's so nostalgic, but it was very short lived,
but
really.
how long has the like current emo scene kind of been around? Like skinny jeans and like a t-shirt,
That's
like
true.
how it's been like 15 years, man.
Yeah, the evolution went really fast, and now we're like at this kind of slow arc.
Yeah.
We're like, it's just kind of, yeah, you're right. It's kind of stagnant.
Like I don't think in 10 years I think we're still just gonna wear skinny-ish jeans and our dickies. I,
Yeah,
we,
we're just
I
gonna
th-
keep rotating between these like
yeah,
2 decades, pretty much.
yeah. This is just where it is now.
Yeah, which is fine. That's cool with me.
Yeah, and plus we're old, so we're just gonna be like, well, this is what I do anyways. So
That's true. We're more
I don't.
set in our ways, and like,
Yeah,
you know, if you get bored, you get a tattoo or maybe, you know, get a stupid haircut, but that's all easily changed, you know. I get bored a lot and I'll be like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna dye my hair or something because like I don't know what to do anymore. You know, it's not like you just changed up your whole style like we used to when we were 10 to 12. It's like I said, you go from tall tees to tight pants. It's quite the shocker for like your
Yeah.
parents are like, "What are you?
Yeah.
What do you like?" Like, I don't know. I'm figuring it out.
And since I don't have any hair, I basically go from short beard to long beard.
Totally. But
that's
hey,
that's all I can do.
debatably, facial hair is the craziest thing to change. I
Yeah.
like will never forget when my dad shaved his beard for the first time. I was like, holy hell, dude! Like, who are you? It's
Yeah.
crazy how different that makes us look.
It's yeah. No, I
So at
know.
least you can still have fun. At least you have facial hair. You can have some fun with that. You know,
Yeah. It's true.
get bored.
It'd be even worse if I had no facial hair. I had no hair. Like, what do I do with myself? How do I be an individual?
You go super tanning or
Oh,
something.
whew. Yeah,
Get
could
those
do
little
that.
tanning stencils. Get a little Playboy bunny right here or something. You
Oh,
know,
like right on the cheek?
yeah. Start a
Oh,
whole new thing.
yeah.
That could
That'd
be
be
us right now, dude. That could be
that
us, but you're playing.
that's that's hot. Okay. All right. All right. Let's actually talk about some music here. So
All right, cool. I'm down. Yeah.
so you released your latest single Haunt back in October now. And
Yeah.
then the stripped down version on November 21st. How's the response been for those tracks?
Um, it's been good for the most part. I mean, I something I've like kind of been doing over the past year was just last year I kind of wanted it to just be a free for all where I was like, you know what? I don't want to be on this strict, you know, this is what we're releasing all year and this is the days and the times and like I really wanted to go with more of like I have so much music that's done that I probably should be putting out like multiple projects or a single every week or 2 weeks.
Sure.
But I felt like I was getting really stuck in that you know, release a single, do 3 weeks of promoting for that single, and then when that single comes out, the next one is uploaded and it's already planned and ready to go. And it was great. Like it helped me a lot get
Yeah.
to more people. But I really wanted to release some of the songs that won. I felt like I had moved past that point in my life because it's weird to release a song that you wrote 3 years ago when you're like, yeah, I love this song, but it's not necessarily like how I feel anymore.
Sure.
And I felt like Haunt was one of those songs that I wanted to release that the previous Halloween. That
Okay.
song was done and ready to go. And I had like missed the deadline. And I was like, oh, if I release it now, it'll come out after Halloween. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait till next year.
Sure.
And that had happened with like so many songs where it was like, this song's good for Valentine's Day. And then it just wouldn't come out on time and stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna release the stuff that I really love right now, but like that I think are the best songs that I have done right now, but that I'm not necessarily like wanting to um feel that way anymore. Like I said, and Haunt was a
Yeah.
pretty like darker song
Yeah.
about kind of like a breakup. Not actually anything that I went through. It was more or less like I looked at a couple relationships around me and I
Yeah.
was like, dang, this is really dark. And I kind of wrote about them and their struggles
Mm-hmm.
from my point of view as if it were me, but it
Yeah.
wasn't actually something I was going through. And then um, you know, we ended up making the song. Haunt came out, and I was like, man, I love this, but I almost feel like it's too much. I need it to be sadder and more broken down. Like this feels
Just
angrier than I intended.
let's
So
strip
then
it
we made
down.
the stripped down version, which was like honestly in my ears how I heard it.
Sure.
in the first place. And we just
Okay.
got really excited and started adding guitar and drums and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden it was like this whole song. And I was like, dang, I love this. But then afterwards, I was like, it needs that version that's a little softer and a little more like broken and vulnerable
Yeah.
type feeling more than like bitter and angry. So we ended up doing both versions. And I think we got more of a response. Like we got more plays on the original. It also has been out a little longer. But I think the response was actually better to the stripped version. And people were just like, I think they just heard the lyrics more
Hmm.
and felt the actual like vibe of the song more.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those things where the song sounds dancey, but it's really dark, or vice versa,
Hmm.
or and I just felt like we captured it better in the stripped version. So that was the longest way to say that.
I love it. I perfect I not perfect. I love the the long versions. Um but I mean when you strip it down it makes more sense. It makes sense because it opens it up more, you know? It allows you to focus more on what you're saying than
Totally.
every than the entire collective of it.
Totally. And I feel like during when the whole world was shut down, I got very into obviously being in my house and making music, but
Hmm.
I got very into like producing full songs where I
Hmm.
had more instruments than I have band members type of thing.
Yeah.
And it was like when we got out of the lockdown and the world started to open back up, I was faced with playing all that music live. And I was like, oh, dang, I've never played to backing tracks. But now, like, we have all these synths and all these effects and,
Hmm.
three guitars, not just two. So, like,
Right.
both my guitarists can only play the parts that they played. So, we started kind of almost doing too much in my opinion. I think the music is awesome. I love all the stuff I made during that point or I wouldn't release it. For every 100 songs I write, I probably release 10 of them. So
Sure.
like I wouldn't release them if I didn't believe in them, but we're kind of trying to like me personally I'm trying to just take a step back and get a little bit more into the I don't want to say minimal, but just more minimal,
Yeah.
a little bit less going on and a little more focused on like the writing and the lyrics and the melody, which is predominantly what I like to focus on anyway. So, yeah, kind of taking a step back and going like back to basics, some good old fashioned acoustic songs by the fire, and then a little bit more broken down stuff. And I'm sort of doing the same thing with the first run of shows that I just booked for this year is like all broken down sets
Okay.
with
Cool.
me and one other band member, or just me and the drummer. Um, or like me drummer and a guitarist like we're just
Hmm.
kind of like playing with that and seeing what kind of different moods we can get because not every show is calls for like my full band
Sure.
in a coffee shop. Sometimes like just me is great and that's what it calls for. Other times it's like, yeah, dude, we're opening up for Bill Murray, we're bringing the full band,
Well, yeah.
obviously. So
Clearly.
and that was one of the coolest shows we played all year, dude. It was completely sold out, obviously, mainly due to them. But that was an amazing or full circle show because I used to play with Attack Attack
Sure.
way back in the day.
Yeah.
And now I'm playing with Bill Murray. And, if I had my choice, Bill Murray's definitely like a killer musical act.
Well, and he
They're so
and
good.
and they let's be frank here. They just
Yeah.
released the album of 2024, you
Dude,
know.
I haven't even made it all the way through, but I'm very excited to listen to it. And like, cause when we got offered that show, I had barely listened to them. I was like, oh, I heard of these dudes. And then I put it all together and did the deep dive and was like, oh wait, this is gonna be a sick show.
Yeah.
And then showing up, it was like, dude, their crowd was so cool to us. They were all so like we all hung out in the green room. Like the headliner act is always like kind of treats you like garbage or something. At least that's the experience I've
Often,
had a
yes.
lot
Yeah.
And it was just cool to just be kicking it with musicians that love music and that are
Hmm.
actually cool people, which
Yeah.
is, in my opinion, not to sound like a hater, but it's something I don't find that often.
Yeah.
You
No.
don't find people that make good music that are good people, and the full package.
Hmm.
It's always one or the other or something, and like I have a hard time with that. The whole separating the artist from the art and all that. I just look at you as a person that makes art. So I don't want to support someone who's an evil fuck in today's evil fuckery type of world. Like I just don't. It doesn't
Right.
make me feel good. I'm the type of dude that will swallow the pill and not listen to my used to be favorite song because I found out that dude's a shithead. Now I'm like, damn it, can't listen to that anymore.
Yeah. Done with
You
that
know,
now.
I don't judge people that do. If you can do it, that's fine. But
Sure.
it was just such a cool. That was definitely like one of my highlights of like recent shows was the Bill Murray show. They were so
Good.
sick. It
That's
was it
awesome.
was great.
I love to hear that. So you touched on it, but you've released, the slew of singles since the last EP wrapped up in Wind. Are you
Yeah.
planning on compiling those singles into an album EP, or are you just like focusing on singles?
So yeah, that's a good question. I mean, Wrapped Up in Wind was all written at a very similar like time of my life. So
Yeah.
it felt very like it coincided with the next song rolled into the next song because I
Yeah.
kind of wrote them in that order in that way.
Hmm.
Unknowingly, like I didn't write it like I'm in album mode right now. I was just like writing a bunch of stuff and I was like, actually, this is a solid 7 song project.
Yeah.
And so then like I said, to kind of get out of that like very curated year that I had, which was like just it was very like regimented and is that the right
Yeah.
word?
Yeah.
Like,
It is. Yeah.
I was on this strict like schedule that I had kind of set and like last year was like I went from releasing 2 covers, which I normally don't do. I'm not really a big cover guy, but like, Say Anything cover came out of Wow I Can Get Sexual Too, and I just thought it was funny. I
Yeah.
was like, dang, this song brings back memories. I'll do an acoustic cover and throw it up. And it literally got almost 1 million views on Instagram. And I was like, are you kidding me, dude? So then it was like one of those things where it's like, well, fuck it. Let's make the full acoustic version and the full band version so we could play it live. And, we tracked with my drummer and it
Hmm.
was super fun. We did the Alanis cover.
Yeah.
I
Which
put
is
out,
so good.
oh, dude, thank you. Alanis is one of my favorite artists like ever, dude. She is, in my opinion, just like the epitome of just a badass chick that writes amazing music. Her stage presence is crazy. I saw her this year. I took my mom and my sister to see her. That was their Christmas present, and a little bit of my own Christmas present because I
Yeah.
love her. So I was
Yeah.
like, it's gonna be the shit. And dude, we went and I was just so inspired. She played with Joan Jett, which was fucking sick. So
Hmm.
it's like, I felt like I saw like the last of the Mohicans of like the '90s grunge girls just killing it. Well, I mean, Joan Jett way before '90s even, but
Hmm.
um, yeah, so that song was super important to me, and I had dedicated a song "Bruises" to my dad, and I really wanted to do a song for my mom, so she didn't feel left out, and she's alive. So I was like, I don't want to wait till she dies to make a song about her.
It's fair.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna cover her favorite song, which was "Hand in My Pocket" by Alanis. So that's how that came about.
I love it.
And then I had like this random assortment of like My Robot Neighbor was a song about having a robot as a neighbor that I literally just thought was funny. And like it was kind of a song that I made because I wanted to make a music video with AI, but I didn't
Okay.
want to make like a stupid one. So
Sure.
I was like, if I make a song about a robot, then we'll let a robot make the video and it'll be funny and ironic.
And it'll
And
make
that
sense.
song pretty much bombed, which I didn't think it was going to be like my breakout hit or anything. It was just a weird song that I was like, this doesn't fit anywhere. I'm going to put it out. And that was kind of my entire thing last year. It was like, I'm putting out all the stuff that just doesn't fit anywhere, but I still love them. And let's see if people stick with me. And like, I noticed a lot of like hits and misses within that, and I
Hmm.
learned a lot. But mainly, I put out what I wanted to last year, and that's all that mattered.
Yeah.
So all those songs were pretty much done last year, and then I put out the "Don't Look at Me" EP, which was just 3 songs, and that was like an ode to my earlier tight pants, emo swoop. Like I used to play metal and hardcore, screamo, all that type of stuff like growing up. So that was kind of like our little ode to like, yo, let's make something a little heavier and like in your face. And actually, you guys did that cool review for "I Felt Bad," which I just saw like a week ago.
Of
And I was like, how did I miss that, dude? That was awesome. Thank you guys for doing that.
course.
Um, so that was like a surprise to most people because they were like, "Whoa, Scuff's kind of like yelling, and it's a
Hmm.
little heavier. It's kind of different. Like it's not as melodic." But so this year now, I have all the stuff that I wrote previous to that year,
Okay.
and all the stuff I wrote last year. So long story short, I definitely do plan on putting out a project. Excuse me, everything last year is just singles.
Okay.
Nothing on that will go on to any project for this year. Anything you hear on a project this year, any single, will probably be part of a project
Okay.
uh, later this year. But this year, I do have a lot of plans for like releasing a little more than I've done in the past few years. And also with, YouTube, I want to kind of treat YouTube a little more like I want to put more things that I don't necessarily release everywhere. It might not be on Spotify and iTunes, but you can see it or listen to it on YouTube.
Okay.
So I'm trying to kind of put everything into, as you can see back here, there's like all these little pieces of paper back here.
Yeah.
Each piece of paper is a different project with all filled with those songs being
Oh,
on that project. So that's my my organization over there is, each piece is a project that I eventually want to put out. And then
okay.
anything I can't find places for, maybe that turns into its own project, like, the Disregarded Files, Volume 1. I don't know.
Yeah. Or
The
just
Vault
call
type
it
of thing.
just call it disregarded.
Yeah,
There you
exactly.
go.
you know? And half the time it's the song that you never think people are gonna like. That's the one that they like the most.
Yeah.
So I'm getting into that thing where it's like, do I like this song? Yes. Do I think it's a hit? Probably not, but what do I know? Like you could have showed me the top 50 hits this year and I probably wouldn't have called them hits. But like that's just opinionated. That's my stupid brain thinking my stupid opinion. So who cares?
That's fair. And
Kind of where I'm at.
speaking of like hits and knowing what's gonna pop off and or not pop off,
Hmm.
your song Magnificent is like your most streamed song, making its
Totally.
way towards 1 million streams, which is a huge milestone. What
Yeah.
would you say, in your opinion, though, is your favorite song that you've released and why? Like, what means the most to you?
Yeah. Hmm. That's a heavy hitter right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me sip my brain juice here.
Yeah. Get some
My
alien liquids.
electrolytes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so it's funny because like I would say honestly, Magnificent is probably one of the most important songs to me that I've ever written. Um, and it came about like it was almost hands down the fastest song I've ever written. Like
Sure.
from the thought, the very so what was happening was I was actually trying to explain poetry to somebody who didn't get poetry. They
Okay.
were like, "Yeah, I just don't get it." And I was like, you have to think of poetry as like it's just a moment, dude. It's not trying to tell you this insane story all the time. It's more or less just like a little thought that's so descriptive that you almost don't even remember what the thought was until the end. And they were like, "Okay." And I was like right now, we're sitting around a fire, right? And I could say something poetic to you, like I sat quietly under a paint splattered tarp of the sky and thought to myself, why do we make this so hard? And they were just like, okay. And I was like, hold that thought. And I literally ran inside, grabbed my notebook, and wrote down that line. And I went back outside. I told my friends, I'm like, I gotta go in. I gotta do something. You guys can chill, whatever you need to do. I gotta go. I went inside and like 15 minutes, had all the lyrics written. I sat down, I wrote the on this little keyboard right here. I literally sat here and did the down down. And that was the only thing I laid down was just down 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 down. And I looped that and then I just talked the part over it and figured the rest out from there. And like literally a half an hour, the entire song was like done. And I called my producer and I was like, I got one, dude. And it like, again, for every 100 songs, that happens 2 or 3 times,
Right.
maybe. So, excuse me. When I wrote that, I had that feeling of like, this one is special to me. I hope it's special to other people, but this one is special to me. Sorry,
Yeah.
someone's calling me there.
Oh, you're okay.
And then it blew up. It was like, I remember my power went out and I posted it and I woke up the next day. My phone died. My power was out, so I didn't charge it. Power went back on, plugged my phone in, and it had like 250,000 on TikTok and however many on Instagram. And I was like, yo, what is going on? So it sounds typical to say that the most popular one, but I feel like it's usually not the most popular song. And I just got lucky because that one like really did mean a lot to me. And in that place that I was in my life, I felt like it was a song that I needed. And then the other one would be Bruises. And that was solely for the reason that I felt like that was the song about my pops passing away, kind of for him / dedicated to him.
Sure.
And, you know, my dad's name was Mick, so that's where my name comes from. Mick's son.
Okay.
Was kind of like an inside joke that we had. It was like a thing where, you know, I was like, I'm Casey Micksun, and like I would strike a karate move, and you know, I don't know if that's politically correct, but I was fucking 7, you know, and
Yeah.
I didn't mean any harm by it. So like, but that carried into like when I was coming up with my name. I was like, you know, my dad passed and he believed in supported the dream, so I changed the name to Skuff Micksun. And 11 years after he passed, I finally wrote that song that I had been trying to write for 6, 7, 8 of those years.
Yeah.
And I hated them all. Any song I tried to write about him, I was like, this is terrible. I hate this. This is stupid. And then that one, same thing. 20 minutes came out, and it was just like, I knew that was it. And that song also like helped me through dealing with it finally, you know?
Yeah.
I went a long time just kind of drinking it off and smoking it off and whatever I could do to push it off. And like that song made me face every bit of it. And it was like really therapeutic. So yeah, those are probably the main 2. And then honorable mention would be Timber, because that was like my little quarter life crisis song, I think, which was nice to get out.
Yeah.
But
Nice. They're great picks. You made
thanks.
some good picks.
I appreciate it. And it makes me happy that those songs are some of the more popular songs, because not that I need the validation. I've made music for 20 years with zero validation,
Yeah.
except from like a friend here and there that's like, no, bro, keep going and you'll get
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. You'll get there someday,
You'll get there
my
maybe
guy.
one day. Yeah,
Yeah.
that little music thing will pay off maybe one
Oh
day.
yeah, that little music thing you do,
Yeah.
that hobby of yours.
How's your little music thing? That's the first. If you really want me to be in like the aisle of, you know, ropes and stools in Home Depot, ask me how my little music thing is going. Like, please.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, it's cool that the songs that mean a lot to me resonate with other people as well. And I think that gave me the validation to myself being like, hey, dude, at least you know you're writing shit that's like true to you, and also resonating with other people. So it was like in that way, I was like, cool. My English major self would have been like proud of my writing and my honesty and whatever. So it was like that little moment of like tooting your own horn, I guess, or
Yeah,
whatever.
absolutely. So speaking about like your, writing in your style, your music is, I think, completely unique, and a style that is only Skuff Micksun.
Yeah,
Like,
thanks, dude.
so when you were first, when you first started writing your own music, what were some of your biggest inspirations?
I'd say like when I very first started, it was I really liked Anthony Green at the time. I really liked his lyrics. I just thought they were like, because at the time I was listening to a lot of, like I said, metal and like screamo, and the lyrics were usually pretty goofy, pretty unserious, or like super guttural, like
Yeah.
stupid shit that I don't relate to it. I
Hmm.
liked the aggression in the music, but I didn't relate to the lyrics at all.
Yeah.
So like I really liked a lot of like softy type of lyricism, you know. I liked Matt Costa a lot, who was a skateboarder turned musician type of
Okay.
thing. He
I
has
I didn't know
awesome,
he was a musician.
dude, amazing musician.
I'll have to check it out.
Like go listen to him, man. He's awesome. I cover the one song by him, Sunshine. It's just such a happy, beautifully beautiful, happy, sad song.
All right.
You know? Um I really liked, oh man, I'm trying to think back then, like I mean, Alanis Morissette
Yeah.
was definitely an influence when I was young. Like I remember hearing those lyrics and being like, these are really cool lyrics. I liked the humor in early Blink 182. Like I'm a very unserious person, and I think I'm kind of trying to get that more into my music, because like a lot of my music is like pretty deep, or like,
That's heavy. Yeah.
heavy, and like I want some of it to be like just more fun.
Yeah.
Couple songs like I Felt Bad, where it's like we're having a good time, dude. Don't take this too serious,
Yeah.
type of vibe. And I loved like Ludacris back in the day because he made me laugh.
Oh yeah.
I liked a rapper that could do both, that could like be hard as fuck and go bar for bar, but also throw in those jokes. So like, I don't think any of that really started making it into my writing until after I stopped playing like heavy, because in my first few bands it was just I was writing songs about like a shark in a flooded city eating all the pedestrians, very on cue to like the metal brand, like
Yeah.
didn't mean anything to me. It wasn't life experience, it was just fun and stupid. um and then I would say like even like to go as far as like Motown. I
Okay.
liked a lot of their lyrics and like simplicity of their lyrics. And then like in my later, I'd say very late teens, like 19 to 21 was somewhere where I found the band Listener. And they are like the one band that people compare me to because
Okay.
it's kind of spoken word.
Okay.
And like I get comparisons to anything that's somewhat spoken word because there's not a lot in that genre. So Hobo
Right.
Johnson,
Mm.
La Dispute, like I get Hotel Books, I get those all the time. Even though I don't think I sound anything near those bands, I get why people would say it because it's somewhat spoken word. So like
Right.
I get it. But
Sure.
yeah, those were definitely like early influences, I would say. Dr. Dog was a late teen influence where I really liked their lyrics a lot too.
That's
Bright
fair.
Eyes, yeah.
That's it's what that you like, it's funny that you brought up Hobo Johnson. I never even like to put two and two together.
Mm-hmm.
Uh 'Cause I actually really like Hobo
Oh, I
Johnson.
think he's got some killer stuff,
Dude,
dude.
he's got some like, especially when he like after like the Peach Scone song, and then like,
Hmm.
and then he like actually made it. It felt like he was like, oh, some people like this. I should actually try. And then
Right.
like the album after that was like fire.
Yeah.
So yeah, he gets a ton of hate, but I think he's great.
Oh, for sure. I mean, anything that's different gets a ton of hate at first, but it also finds its audience. I mean, for better or for worse, because, again, art is in the eye of the beholder, but I also feel like because negative comments and negative reinforcement also drives music now, like in an algorithm, we do end up making really, in my opinion, some talented and some talentless people very famous
Sure.
unknowingly.
Sure.
But like someone like him, someone like me that's just doing something that's not traditional or like that people are used to hearing, I get people comparing me to people that I'm like, what are you talking about? That is so far from anything I sound like. And I see it happening to Hobo Johnson too. And like
Oh yeah.
people were tagging me in all his stuff and tagging him in my stuff and being like, you guys need to check each other out. And it's like, it's funny because I mean, I guess it is somewhat close to what I do because we're both saying words somewhat offbeat,
Yep.
somewhat melodic. So, without having this huge pool of people to compare us to, I think it makes sense. But I still think we're so different.
Yeah.
I think a show together would work. But
Oh, totally.
beyond that, it's like, that's what's killing me right now with shows is no one knows where to put me. They're like, we don't know who to play with you, like
I
who
think
to put on the bill.
I think that's wild. Like when the first time I heard you, I was even like, I feel like you fit perfectly within this scene, this music scene. Like you could play with, anyone, like pop punk, metal, like being with Bill Murray. That makes sense to me. I don't know. I hear this
Totally.
like,
I
uh,
agree with you. It just seems like a lot of people don't hear that.
yeah,
So,
I think that's weird, but like Hobo Johnson, Hobo Johnson couldn't play with Bill Murray. That'd be fucking weird,
yeah, that would be a strange bill, right?
you
So I
know?
don't know what that separation is, but I appreciate you for saying that. And I like, dude, that is, you know, mainly what I hear from people at those shows, at the Bill Murray show. All their fans were like, bro, like, I don't know how it works so well, but like you fit on this show so well. And I was
Yeah,
like, thank you, dude. It's because I grew up playing this type of music
yeah,
and technically never really left. Like I've been making emo music for 16 years. Like
yeah.
it
I
hasn't
mean,
really changed that much.
it like the way you write fits that vibe. It fits that scene. It fit like one of the things that like when we were growing up, all of these people could play a show together. You could have like, let's just say, use big bands, you could have Blink 182 play with Dashboard Confessional, play
Totally.
with As They Lay Dying, you
Totally.
know,
Like
you could,
that Warp Tour
yeah,
effect.
they could all play together, and it made sense because it's that scene collective that
Yes.
everybody just listens to the one spectrum to the other. Like
Right.
it all fits. Like, and that's
Exactly, dude.
I feel like you fit right in the middle of all of that.
Oh man, that's awesome. I'm glad that you hear that out of it for sure. Cause I feel that way even with like metal and rap, dude.
Yeah.
Like most anyone I know that loves metal also loves Wu-Tang Clan, you know?
Yes.
And
Uh-huh.
there is like a lot of similarities with the kick and the double bass and the 808s and the
Hmm.
breakdowns and like everything that makes you just get that stank face or whatever. And like
Yeah.
I remember I went to Every Time I Die Fest, and they brought out Ghostface Killer as a
Yeah.
secret guest, and the crowd went berserk,
Yeah.
like berserk, dude. And it's so weird because it's the scene. It's not the genre. It's the
Hmm.
scene. It's the
Yeah.
kind of people that like those things.
Hmm.
People don't like just one thing. And if you do,
Right.
like, you're just missing out on all the other things.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah, it's a weird place.
I feel like this scene has always been really good about including so much into its scene. Like
Totally.
every music scene like has a little bit of that, like
Sure. Or
you got
tries to.
you got the butt rock bands and stuff, and they
Yeah.
try to, you fucking Kid Rock, he kind of did rap a little bit, but it's like
Yeah.
shitty. But you know like
We
you
could call
have them,
it.
they try, you know to be inclusive,
Yeah.
and they're not, but they tried. And
Yeah. They think they're being inclusive.
is yeah. I'm not gonna go too much further with that,
Sure,
but
yeah.
but they tried, and other genres do that too, but I don't feel like there was ever as wide of an inclusivity as like
Hmm.
the pop punk emo metal like scene. Like there's like metal and metal heads, but that's also not the same thing.
Right, absolutely. There's
So
definitely there's like still those strong separators within it.
yeah.
Or like you just miss being in this scene.
Yeah.
But it's like, and they're I think they're not as clearly defined anymore, which I think is kind of a good thing in a sense. Like you're
Yeah.
saying, it's kind of that Warped Tour effect where like you have these super heavy bands playing with like what is it, like I don't know, like 303
Hmm.
or something like that, where they're like this gimmicky rap group. And you're like, how does that work? But it works because it's more of like the energy of the scene, not the sound of this genre.
Yeah.
So I think it's
Like
important for us to do that.
a Warp Tour, you had the fucking, like you said, you had Dashboard Confessional, and on a stage over, you had the Acacia Strain, and nobody's
Exactly.
pissed about it, you
No.
know?
And people are like splitting sets because they want to see both,
Yeah.
which is
And like these
hilarious.
bands are also going to see each other.
Totally.
Yeah.
And a lot of us that came from that scene got into certain things later in life. Like now we all like not all of us, but now a big part of that scene loves like the really soft, folky, indie type of stuff, which we kind of liked back then.
Yeah.
It was like when Skinny Love and Bon Iver came out, it was like, what is this? And that was the day I bought the Job for a Cowboy album. Like, but I'd switch between listening to Bright Eyes or Postal Service to
Hmm.
Job for a Cowboy and See You Next Tuesday or, one of these crazy bands. So it's like such a weird, such a weird scene, but I love it for that.
Yeah.
And I think it's gotten way more away from like this tight knit, weird little like bright emo flashy scene, and it's more just this all inclusive thing, kind of like punk used to be.
Yeah.
Punk used to be this very inclusive thing until new punks came and said that's not punk, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, the whole point of punk is that you just do what you want.
Yeah.
you know
That's
it's not
always been the point.
it's not a look. It's like you're an ally to those around you, and you fucking dress how you want, and you
Yeah.
kiss who you want, and you support anyone doing the same.
Yeah.
That's punk, and that was like the simple definition of it until people made it what it wasn't. But history repeats itself, so we always come back and redefine things, and now we're at this place where I think that we are in a scene that's very inclusive and very, you know, I know very inclusive people here and there and everywhere. I also know very not inclusive people in those same things. So it's never a full demographic that, is one thing, but you will find more inclusiveness in our scene than in country right now. That's just the fact.
Yes.
So, like,
100%.
demographically, that's just how it's working out.
Totally. All
So,
right.
music changes shit.
So since we've been going for a long time on this, and so normally I'd start cutting questions, but I don't want to cut this question. I'm not going to do it. We're just going to
Okay.
go, we're going to go a little longer. So,
Sure. I'm free for you, man. Whatever you want to do.
so creativity, we've been talking about the whole time. It's a driving force for your life. You know,
Mm,
we talked about this before we even started recording. You know, you're a muralist, a tattoo artist. You know, you've done graphic designing,
hmm.
children's art teacher, worked on a commercial and movie set construction, as well as being an art director.
How did you
So
know that? What are you, fucking Nardwar now?
yeah, yeah,
I feel like I don't have that information anywhere, but
yeah.
that's
Well,
crazy that you knew that.
I found things.
All right,
So
Pat.
with that, outside of being like, a professional musician, what job would you want to do for the rest of your life?
Hmm. Outside of like a creative field, um, I mean, I remember like my earliest thing that I really wanted to do was like I wanted to like discover species, whether it be like in the ocean or like, I
Dude,
wanted like I don't know what job that is. Do I just get a safari hat and you're just like, all right, go find something new? Like I don't know, but like
at this point it would
discovering
at this
species.
at this point it would probably be grab a scuba fucking gear and get
Yeah,
down into the water if you want to discover something.
which now that you mention that, I'm gonna go ahead and change my answer because that sounds fucking horrifying, dude. There's not a chance I'm going deeper than I can see down. So
You ain't hopping down into the Marianas Trench?
maybe like a ufologist or something, dude. Just something where I could be extremely disappointed every day. Uh, yeah, dude. I like. I don't know. I think like discovering new something like scientific breakthroughs, something where I could be like, I found this new caterpillar. That's, I don't even know if that's a job, bro, but maybe an archaeologist. I don't know.
That's a cool idea. Yeah.
Something where I'm out there finding new shit, finding
But
some unanswered answers.
still being creative, but it's instead of art, it's scientifically creative.
Yeah, something like that. Be able to name my own species or something.
What would you, if you found your own caterpillar, what would you name it?
Uh, man, that's tough.
It
Ooh, man, that's tough.
was like the Scufficus Mexican.
Yeah, yeah, like that's what I was thinking. Like I was going off of like Australopithecus afarensis type of vibe, like a very science, like Scuffalopithecus Micksonionis or something.
There you go.
That's what I'm
That
gonna go with.
that's deeply scientific right there.
Scuffalopithecus Micksonius.
All right.
And hopefully it would be like a new praying manti breed. That would be my hope. Because those are
Oh,
pretty alien.
what if it was like if you actually found like a human version of it, like instead of instead of the animated version we have in Space Ghost, you found the real version. What was his name? Uh
Oh my God, yeah.
there was like
This goes coast to
Moltar,
coast.
right? Moltar was
Moltar. Oh no, Moltar was
the
you're
he was
talking
the
about the
like
mantis.
yeah, the man I don't remember what was the mantis.
I can't remember the mantis now.
Moltar was like the lava dude.
I felt like it started with a Z, but it might
Yeah,
be
yeah, I think it did. Mantis, let's Space
Space
Ghost.
Ghost.
Zorak.
Zorak. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. If I ever found like an alien or like a humanoid or something, I don't think I would tell anyone. I think I would just take care of it and make sure we're best friends and try to protect it from the rest of the world like ET, because we all see what happens when you tell someone that you found an alien.
It's true.
It doesn't go well.
Never
And you,
never
and you
does.
lose you lose your sidekick
Yeah. You
for
lose your
those damn
pal. You
scientists.
lose your alien pal. You
The
can't
damn
do that.
government.
Fucking
Government doesn't let us have anything nice anymore.
no. Only lets us have something mean.
Yeah, literally. Hey,
Only
you want a bunch of horrible bad shit? Because we got plenty to go around.
got plenty of horrible bad shit.
They're giving that out.
You got your nice alien friend? Fuck that thing.
Yeah, they're giving that shit out like freebies at Planned Parenthood. Crazy, dude.
All right. So we got one more question before we go to our first quick break. If
All
you
right,
could give
cool.
if you could give our listeners a piece of advice that you know now that you wish you knew when you were first starting your musical journey, what would that be?
You know what? I've been asked this question and I've never known how to answer it. And because I feel like every answer I've ever come up with is just typical, right? It's like be
Sure.
yourself, just keep going, all that. I'm not gonna say any of that because the thing that I've recently learned, and like I say recently, but like 5 years now, is if you're in a writer's block and you feel like I'm never gonna write anything good again, I'm never gonna paint something as good as this, I'm never gonna, whatever kind of creative block you're in, just let it be for a minute. Don't freak out because like I've lost my mind over that. For 2 weeks I'm not super creative and I'm just like, well, that's it. I might as well just go get a
It's
job at an insurance
fucking done.
company. I'm over. I'm washed up. I was best when I was 17. And this happened at, 15, 17, 20, 22, 25. And it's like every few years you have that, like, what am I doing, dude? Like, I'm never going to just go out and enjoy some fucking life and don't worry about being creative for a few days.
Yeah.
Go to a place you've never been, call some people that you miss and haven't caught up with, make a brunch date, a dinner date with a friend that you haven't seen in a while, go on a fucking hike and get lost. Just like, just let it go for a minute and it will come back. If you are an artist, it will always come back. And sometimes I think that I spend so much time in this room right here, which is like, as you can see, it's a decent sized little studio, but like, it's not. I see this every day. I don't
Mhm.
come in here and just find like new things to look at.
Right.
It's like sometimes you have to go out into the world and like just have a new experience.
Yeah.
Spend $50, fill up your gas tank and go type
Hmm.
of shit. And that always seems to get me out of a writer's block so much quicker than sitting in this room trying to force myself to like make the next great thing that I'm gonna make. And I've just like been my own worst enemy when it comes to writer's block, and it always passes, and I always write more. And sometimes I come back and write 4 songs in a day, and I'm like, wow, I guess I worried for the past 2 weeks for nothing and made myself sick for nothing,
Yeah.
honestly.
No,
Yeah.
that
I think that
that's
would be huge for a young up and coming person that is experiencing that for like the first, second, or third time. It's like just don't beat yourself up over it. It's gonna be fine.
that's huge. The like realistically, that's
Yeah.
because if you're sitting in a room, like you're saying, like all the time working on music, blah blah, you're not out making new memories. You're not out
Right.
making new experiences to
Hmm.
write about. Sometimes you
Exactly.
need a refresher. You need to get out there sometimes and remind yourself what life is.
Totally, dude. Because it gets really easy when you work 3 jobs like I do and my schedule's insane and I'm missing really important family things because I need to make $120 today so I can make rent tomorrow. And then my only free day this week is Saturday. So Saturday I'm going to make as many songs and as much noise as I can, and like all of a sudden it's been a year and you haven't done much besides be creative in this room.
Right.
So like yeah, and that's amazing. I'm grateful every day that I found something I love so much. But like just as much as you love that, you got to feed your soul elsewhere and like do the family thing and you know, take your girl out and like
Yeah.
hit up your homie for a couple drinks or like for a dinner like I said, and just get out of the house, go shoot some pool, go on a hike, and you come home and next thing you know like you wrote a whole song about what you and your boy talked about over dinner,
Right.
or whatever, or like take a little road trip and you write about Chicago or wherever you went, and like how many songs do you hear it's like I went to Chicago, I went to here, I went to here, like half the time you go on vacation you're going to write about something on vacation. So it's like give
Yeah.
yourself that that break and just get out, have a new experience, try a new food, like simple shit. I'm not
Yeah.
saying go to the Bahamas. I'm just
Yeah.
saying like, go somewhere you've never been. Go to the Asian market you've never been to and go buy food you don't even know what it is and just come home and make it and do something for yourself. You know, I don't know.
Hell, if you can't do that, even just go to fucking the global section in Target. You
Dude,
know,
100%.
try something different.
Anything,
Yeah.
literally anything. Practice a little free will. See how it makes you feel. You know,
Yeah.
like we don't do that shit enough. I've been
True.
talking about that a lot lately with friends and my girlfriend, and like maybe too much. I need to back it up on the free will before I'm like, watch this, Patrick. I could jump out my own window right now and no one can stop me.
I could do it. Who's to say I can't?
Be a
Nobody.
crazy song though.
Yeah. It's true. Wow,
Have to go
shit.
back to metal, jumping out the window.
Dude, that's such good advice. Thanks for
Yeah,
sharing it.
dude. Thanks, man. I
Because
wish someone told me that like 10 years ago for sure.
yeah. And I hope all you listening, if you haven't heard that before, I hope you take it to heart and I hope you go do it. Uh,
Totally.
so with that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with our next segment. Thank you again to Open Your Ears Records for partnering with us to help bring even more new artists to your attention. Open Your Ears Records is an amazing independent record label out of Richmond, Virginia, with a killer lineup of up-and-coming bands and artists. This week, we're stoked to tell you about Wild Truth's new track that they just released. It's a highly requested unplugged version of their song Drift. Wild Truth is an alternative band from Richmond, Virginia, and stay tuned because they got even more kick-ass music coming out this year. What you're hearing right now is a sample of the track, so if it's up your alley, go stream the hell out of it right now. It's streaming on all major streaming platforms. Thank you so much again to Open Your Ears Records for sponsoring today's episode. Today's episode is sponsored by Chattanooga Beard Company. Are you looking for a quality company to help sexify your beard? Turn it up to 11, take it to a whole new level. I have tried lots of other products over the many years it's taken to grow these luscious face locks. And then I tried Chattanooga Beard Company, and I kid you not, it changed my beard's life. Their products are made from quality ingredients like sweet almond oil, jojoba oil, coconut oil, beeswax, lanolin, and shea butter. I have at home their shampoo and their conditioner, 2 different scented beard balms, 1838, which is wood, amber, and grapefruit, and churchwarden, which is pipe tobacco and wild cherries and freedom. I also have 2 of their beard oils, Clean Slate, which is bergamot and lime, and Iron Forged, which smells like coffee and chocolate, and you just want to eat it. My wife loves the smell of their Clean Slate oil. It's been a game changer. You don't have to take my word for it, because who am I other than the lovely looking man with this lovely looking beard? Try it for yourself. Just go to www.chattanoogabeard.co and snag any of these products or one of their other many scents and styles. And as a bonus, if you use our code Unsigned Pop Punk at checkout, you're going to get 15% off your order. So if you love your beard, or you love someone with a beard, try out Chattanooga Beard Company. You won't be mad you did. And we're back. Thanks so much for sticking around. It's time for everybody's favorite segment. It's the Food for Thought segment. You've been waiting for it. I know, because you come hungry and you want to leave hungrier. Dude, honestly, every time we like go through this segment, like every guest is like, fuck man, you're right, I am hungry now. Like I'm hungry
I was
now.
hungry before I came
Yeah.
hungry, so I'm about to be right there.
Okay, good. So this sometimes I come up with questions that just make me giggle. And personally, this one made me not only giggle, I'll go so far as to say chortle. All right. This one made
Good
me
word.
chortle. Yeah.
Word of the day.
Word of the day, chortle.
Shortle.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
like it.
So obviously, right, the most iconic song about Cleveland, bar none, is the intro to the Drew Carey Show, Cleveland Rocks, by the Presidents of the United States of America.
Damn right.
So with that being said, if you could share one meal with Mr. Drew Carey, what would you share? What meal would that be?
Oh man. So okay, I was just asking what the name of this place was. So there's this place in our downtown Little Italy called Guarino's.
Okay.
And dude, honestly, I would say like anything there. Anything there, but I had, oh my God, what was it called? It's like noodles filled with cheese. Focaccia maybe? It was the first time I'd heard of it. And I was like, yeah, let's try that. I got that and the calamari with like this little olive plate, and it was kind of like, dude, it was like the most perfectly portioned, tastiest meal I have had since I was in like New Orleans, and just, like my sister-in-law or my sister and brother-in-law got married there, got engaged there, sorry, and we sat at like a chef's table, which I'd never done, and it was like the best meal I'd ever had. This was probably the best meal I'd ever had, and I think it was called, let me see, pasta noodles with cheese inside. It was called ricotta cheese.
Yeah. Is it like
Yeah,
manicotti or something like that?
manicotti. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Which, dude, it was so simple, but like that with the side of calamari and like just like the little, buttered bread that they had. Like, I'm a simpleton, dude, when it comes to food. Like, I just started exploring like a food palette, I'd say within the past 5 years, really. I was just like raised on like shitty food. But yeah, I would go to Guarino's with Drew Carey and
Share
smash like just,
share some manicotti.
oh my God, share some manicotti like Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, you could each so you could each suck the ricotta cheese out at the same time. Like three, two, one, Drew. Let's do it. You ready?
Whoever gets the bigger shot of cheese wins. Whoever gets the least amount of cheese pays for the bill.
Yep.
No, fuck that. Drew Carey's paying for the bill if we go out to eat. I'm telling you that much.
It should be a no-brainer, I would say. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, I was so excited when I found that place. So any chance I get to like tell people Guarino's is phenomenal spot. And it was cool,
okay.
like they had like um all the beads around the bar from like Prohibition so that you can't see in.
Okay.
So it's just like a weird vibe. It was like very authentic feeling.
That's cool.
So yeah, that would be it for sure. Manicotti. I couldn't think of the name. Thank
That's a
you. It's
that's a
like
no.
so simple. People are gonna be like, "What, dude? That's fucking cheese in a in a pasta noodle." But yeah, it was bomb.
Yeah. That's the dude, manicotti is delicious.
Yeah, opened
Uh
my world up.
so you were saying that you are before, you were just kind of a dirtbag eater, just
Yeah,
fucking just
corn dogs, pizza rolls.
so speaking of being so between being a dirtbag eater and now being a bit of a foodie, what
Sure.
have you not only ever tried, but like what are your thoughts on Cincinnati style chili?
That's so funny because actually my girlfriend is from Cincinnati
Okay.
and tells me about Skyline chili all the time.
Skyline chili.
Bro, I don't like beans, so I think it's the best thing ever.
Okay.
Like
So,
Cincinnati style just is like less bean oriented chili.
well, on top of spaghetti.
On
Yeah.
top, well, yeah. So in my opinion, 10 times better than any chili I've ever like. Yeah, for me that's ideal.
I I've
Why?
never
What about
had
you?
I've never had Skyline chili, and I mean, now I know that it Skyline chili is like you either are like fucking Skyline chili, bro. Or you're like,
or die. Yeah.
fuck you, I hate you.
Yeah. It seems
It,
that way.
so I've never had it, but I'll tell you, I like noodles, I like chili. Um, so I'm down to clown, right? I'll try
Totally.
it for sure. I'm also a person that like I say this all the time. And I've said it on the podcast a lot. I'm a person that when I'm eating food, like I like shit on my shit. Like I love
Sure.
the more like I love stuff with stuff on it. Like
Totally.
so like like if you're like my kids were like, "Oh, I want spaghetti." No, they don't want fucking spaghetti. They want sauce on noodles.
On noodles. Yeah.
I want shit on my shit. I
Yeah,
want there
totally.
to be meat and something, cheese and stuff on my stuff.
I
Um,
relate to that more than I ever have, for sure.
like
I'm getting there.
with like burgers and stuff. Like when you see like what kind of burger you gonna get? You gonna get a cheeseburger? I'm like, I'm gonna get the fucking weirdest thing that they have.
The
Is there
works, yeah.
Yeah, like a breakfast burger with hash browns and an egg on it. Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
gonna have because that sounds
Totally.
awesome.
Totally. No, I don't blame you. I think that's I think how you have a lot more fun with food too.
Yeah,
Like now I like enjoy trying that. Like I would enjoy trying something new like that. Whereas 10 years ago, I would have been like, no, just give me, the cheeseburger for sure.
yeah,
Plain. No onions, no lettuce, no tomato. Cheese, burger, bun, ketchup. And
yeah.
like that was me. That was my culture. It was terrible.
Like that we went. I was on tour and we stopped. I don't remember the name of the restaurant, and it's sad. But we were in randomly in Des Moines, Iowa, and there was this pizza place inside. It was like a pizza place inside of a Chinese restaurant, and they had a General So pizza, and
Ooh,
it was one of the best pizzas I've ever had in my entire life.
that
Like,
sounds amazing
dude,
though.
so good.
Like with
And
chicken on it?
yeah, the General So chicken
Yeah, okay. I thought
on
so.
the
I didn't think
pizza.
it was just the sauce, but
No, like all of it, like on the pizza. It was like the sauce drizzled on top. Dude, mind blown.
yeah, that sounds like 10 out of 10 something I would love. Like I will travel a half an hour to get good like General Tso. Like
Yeah.
there's not many places around me that have that. And like me and my girl always joke, we'll drive a half hour to go get like mall chicken. Like from the mall.
Yeah.
And it's not even that good, but they got the General Tso, so it's like,
Dude,
yeah, we're going.
dude, th- so especially around here, there are a lot of like Asian restaurants and Chinese food restaurants and stuff.
You guys have great food out there. You have a lot of options
But
from what I saw.
I'll tell you though, like when it's up in Duluth, when it comes to it, there's stuff that's okay, but I'd rather give me some Panda Express General So. I like
That's what I got yesterday, bro.
it's so good.
That's
Like
literally what I got yesterday. Yep.
half the time
Banging.
I half the time up here at least, if we go to a Chinese food place, the chicken it's not crispy, it's mushy.
The wet chicken
Yeah,
is the worst,
and
bro.
it's just like if I was getting orange chicken or sesame chicken or General So, I want it to be crispy. I want it. It's supposed to have that crispy,
I couldn't agree
like
more.
it's deep fried. It's fried. Like, why is it mushy?
How is it wet? Yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't even read in my head. It
right.
really
It's
doesn't.
like how long has this just been sitting in the liquid? Shouldn't it have been brought out when it was done?
Yeah.
So that's my thought. That's just my thought. That's my
Honestly, that's hilarious that you mentioned. I just had Panda Express for the first time this past summer
dude. Panda
ever in
Express
my life.
is great.
And it's like the only fast food that I actually eat. Like I used to do Wendy's a lot. It's not like I'm above it. I'll still grab fast food if I'm driving from here to Chicago, but like I really try not to eat any of it because I just am like yeah, they're trying to kill me with the food. And like You know,
Sure.
I'm that dude, which is annoying, but like I also think it's pretty true. But Panda Express is banging for some like fast food-ish vibe.
Yeah,
At that over anything almost.
I love it. It's good stuff.
Or pizza. Any pizza is
Oh,
good.
yeah. Somebody said it on the show. I don't remember who it was, but I agree. Like we talk about like the different styles of pizza all the time on here, but it's like, but they had said it was like it doesn't matter. Pizza's like sex. It really doesn't matter. It's because like you're
All
still
good.
getting to have it, so it's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
I was like, yeah, I was thinking, I'm like, how is it like sex? Yeah, dude. I
Yeah,
like having it.
yeah. You still like it does good like good sex, bad sex, good pizza, bad pizza. It's still awesome. You're still getting to have it.
Totally.
It's fucking awesome.
That is funny. Yeah, pizza's hard to fuck up too. It's like
It
it's
is.
one of those things where it's
It's
just always
really,
decent.
really hard to fuck it up.
I love making a good homemade pizza, like a chicken bacon ranch from scratch, minus the dough. Like I'll buy the dough,
Sure.
but that from scratch is like one of my favorite things to make from home and just like dress it up however I want. And yeah, dude, it's the
Nice.
best.
That sounds good.
The
Uh
best.
speaking of, so homemade, not homemade, what's your favorite go-to late night snack? If you had like the ability, right, to have a fully stocked kitchen at like all times, right? Like what would be your go-to like every time for a late night snack?
Hmm. I'd say it's between two, and they're like super different. It
Okay.
would be like the half baked ice cream,
Oh,
like
Ben
cookie
and Jerry's?
dough.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Mm.
anything along that line of like late night. If I'm like super long day, get a little stoned, and just like eat an entire tub of ice cream, yeah, that's my jam. The other option would be I love like bell peppers, just
Yeah.
chopped into pieces with cream cheese and
Oh yeah.
the everything bagel seasoning. Bro, that is like, and I don't feel horrible about myself after I do it, because I'm
Sure.
just like, all right, that's like a decently
Yeah.
healthy snack. It wasn't detrimental to my longevity of on this earth.
Sure.
But yeah, those are my two opposites, like super sweet or like kind of that like I do like just like a carrots and ranch or
Yeah.
like I said, bell pepper cream cheese, everything seasoned bagel seasoning that is one of the craziest easiest snacks that it just blew my mind when I had it. It
Dude,
was 2 years ago I had it, and I'm like, yeah, that's it.
I also really liked it just being super, super simple and like just any kind of vegetable. Like honestly, I know my wife thinks it's really weird, but I really like celery.
So do
So
I, bro.
like so I'll take like a vegetable like a cucumber or celery and just hot sauce.
Oh
Like
yeah.
just pour it on it and just eat, you know?
Dude,
It's like
anything with hot sauce is just becoming like my guilty pleasure. I like used to be so bad with hot foods, like mild wings would kill me. And now I've like worked myself up to the point where I'm just like hot sauce on everything.
yeah.
Even if it's already hot, I'm putting hot sauce on it.
And and something like that, like especially if it's vegetables, is definitely not detrimental because there's no calories in hot sauce.
Totally. Yeah. And like mixing sauces, like you just get a couple celery sticks, mix a little hot sauce with the ranch. Get a little
Yep.
freaky, dude.
Yeah. Let just make it hot.
Yeah, dude. I was gonna say it can't hurt, but it
It can't
can.
hurt, can hurt your butt.
It
All right.
can
Got
absolutely hurt.
got a couple left here. All
All
right.
right.
So I I first wrote this as if, and then I was like, fuck that. We're gonna scratch that out. We're gonna write when. So when you reach the stadium tour level, right? And
Okay.
you can have whatever you want on your rider. What are you gonna put on it? You
Hmm.
fucking whatever, man. Like sky is the limit because you can have the green M&Ms picked out. It doesn't matter.
Right,
What
right.
do you want?
That's so funny. I literally just booked a show, and my supporting act was like, just make sure all the yellow M&Ms are
Yeah.
gone. I was like, God damn, when did that become such a rider thing? It's funny.
Because some band in the 70s like that was on their rider.
Okay, okay. Rice Krispie treats.
All right.
Those are good for energy. And I need that on stage because I'd be running all over the place. Um, Bananas, good for cramps.
Absolutely.
Uh, those are two more out of like, okay, these would be good, to
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
And then the guilty pleasures,
Yeah.
man, I have to go like some sort of potato, like probably probably just a baked potato.
Okay.
I love potatoes, dude. One time I made French fries, mashed potatoes, and I forget the third potato. It might have just been like chips or like a baked potato. And I literally sat it all down and I was like, dude, this is only potatoes. And I thought I was like doing something. I was like, yeah, man, like I made myself a really good dinner, man, all by myself. And then I was like, I got French fries, mashed potatoes, and a baked potato, bro. This is not really dinner, but I
No,
love potatoes. So,
good.
and then some sort of meat. Like, I want to say, like, you know about hanky pankies or like shit on a shingle? That's what people
I
call them.
know shit on a shingle, but
It's same food.
everybody's shit on a shingle is different. So what is your shit on a shingle?
So mine is like those little breads, the little brown. What kind of bread is it? It's not pumpernickel, but it's like some sort of little pita chip
Rye
bread.
bread? Rye
Man,
bread?
maybe it's rye, yeah.
Okay.
And then it's basically just like spicy sausage with cheese. That's
Okay.
pretty much it, dude. And those are
Okay.
like my guilty pleasure food, like good snacker.
Okay.
I mean,
So
if I really had it my way, I'd have like a steak.
sure. You
You
can
know?
because it's your
Yeah.
rider.
Yeah. I would probably just ask for like a steak and potato meal like once a day.
All
That'd
right.
probably be it.
So shit on a shingle for me
Yeah,
um
yeah.
is so my mom used to make it and it was um it's like a meat gravy. And so it
Okay.
comes with the same sort of deal, right? You had some bread, but we would just take toast, when you would rip it up and you would put the toast like down and then the gravy
Oh.
just went on top of it. And so that what that was like a white gravy. It was almost like, breakfast, biscuits and gravy almost. But instead of that, you used bread. It had like whatever kind of like ground beef, or you could do sausage, would probably be really fucking good. I've never done that, but it was ground beef, peas, and
Huh.
and then you made the gravy.
Yeah,
And
that's
like that
definitely different.
all went together and you just
Still
fucking
sounds banging.
dude, it's so good.
It
Like
sounds good. Throw some sausage in there next time and try that out because that
I
just sounds like a sausage dip.
dude, I haven't made that in like 20 years. But me and my buddy, like he texted me, he's like, "Hey, remember we used to make this?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah, dude." He's
Dude,
like,
y'all need a shit on a shingle night
"We do. We need a shit on a shingle night." And
for the boys.
so good.
That
It's just
is funny.
it's so heavy.
It is heavy. That's why I was like, I'm trying to think of thing. Everything I picked is a little heavy. Steak and potatoes. That's kind of
Yeah.
a heavy. It's like, oh yeah, just give me a Thanksgiving meal before I go on stage, so I'm nice and tired and fucking food comaed out.
I mean, it could be worse. You could be, picking shit like fucking Elvis Presley,
Totally.
mountains of peanut butter.
Yeah, dude. Some riders. I've read like weird riders, and it's very strange. I'm like, are you just doing that to be funny, or is that really like what you wanted?
Yeah.
It's
I
strange.
so I remember like I was listening to a podcast about Elvis Presley and like a snack he used to have made from. He never made anything for himself, but
Of course not.
like his uh housekeeper, servant, whatever, whatever you want to call it, uh would make him would take so make a homemade loaf of bread, right?
Uh-huh.
Wouldn't cut it up. What they would do is they would cut out the center, scoop the entire center out, and fill it with like peanut butter and chocolate and shit like that. And he would eat that in like a sitting.
Ew.
Yeah. But the dude fucking loved his fucking peanut butter bread and his
Ear.
peanut butter burgers and shit like that.
Dude, he must have been just constantly working down peanut butter because I mean, I love peanut butter too, but it's
Yeah.
like not something that I would want with just peanut butter bread. That sounds like I would need, a full water bottle to get that down. That's just a lot.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at it. Okay. Well, he obviously did his peanut butter and banana sandwiches and stuff like that, but
Sure.
also he also put bacon on it and fried it in a skillet.
Can't blame him there.
That sounds great.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah. I gotta find the fucking like massive thing at some point and I'll send it to you
Please
because
do. That's funny. I never heard that. I've heard a
yeah,
lot about Elvis, but never that, which
it
just
was
makes me.
I it was from the Time Suck podcast. That was with Dan Cummins. It's my favorite podcast. It's super
Times?
Time Suck.
Oh, Times Suck. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'll check
Yeah.
that out. I'm definitely a podcast guy, so
Dude, he's super great. Love it. Super
sweet.
funny, super informative.
Nice. Yeah, I like something that I can learn a little something while I'm listening. Not a total waste of time. I like historical things or
Yeah.
like I don't know. I like
That's
all that type of stuff.
Time Suck is like historical events, figures, true crime stuff. It's over 400 episodes, so
Pretty established. Yeah.
tons of shit to listen to. All right.
Sick. I like that.
All
Nice.
right. Last question, and I love so much that you love potatoes because if Skuff Micksun was a potato, what kind of potato would you be?
Oh, dude, I'd be a tiny golden potato.
Just a tiny golden
Just
potato?
just those little guys.
This
Little bite-sized, tiny, nice little gold tint. Pretty round, pretty
petite.
well-rounded potato. Bite size. Yeah,
All right.
dude,
All
for
right.
sure.
All
Easy.
right.
I think
Perfect.
about it every night.
I when you told me how much you love potatoes, I was like, this question was made
Perfect.
for him.
Perfect
Perfect.
segue.
I personally would be a couch potato.
I
So
love it. I
yeah.
love that. See, you went outside the box.
Yeah.
I was inside the bag. You were outside the bag. I like
Yeah.
that.
You were inside a golden bag of potatoes.
I was. I was. Yeah, that question keeps me up at night, man.
Oh,
Oh,
you don't have to. It doesn't have to anymore. But you answered it and you know it now.
thank God you freed me from my little genie lamp. I've been trapped for years.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could help with that.
Finally.
All right, that's it for the food for thought segment. Now it's time. This is it. This is the culmination of everything we've been going
All right.
through together. It's time for rapid fire questions.
Friendships will be tested. Rapid fire questions.
You're just gonna speak from the heart. You're gonna shoot from the hip. Whatever
All right.
whatever the first thing that pops into your head, even if it's not one of the two options I present to you,
Okay.
you follow your heart.
All right.
Are
You
you
said
ready?
it. Yeah.
All right. Monster Energy or Rockstar?
Monster.
All right. Pop punk or emo?
Emo.
Taylor Swift or John Mayer?
John Mayer is a good guitar player.
Is a very good guitar player. Oh, so this is gonna tug at your inner soul right here.
Oh God! So you relieved me of my one question that keeps me up at night. Now
This
you're
is
gonna give me another one.
this is gonna haunt your dreams.
God damn it! All right, I'm
S-
ready.
Skinny jeans or baggy pants?
That is tough. That is tough because I feel like I was strictly skinny jeans. I was strictly baggy, then I was skinny, and now I'm kind of in between.
Yeah.
But I do like a good bag. Oh man, I'm I'm gonna see. I already changed my answer for myself. Why is that so hard? Like you knew this question was a struggle because you struggled with it. I bet.
Yeah.
Uh, you know what, dude? I'm gonna go baggy.
All right.
I'm
Good.
gonna go baggy because I feel like I own more baggy pants than tight pants, even though I still wear some very tight pants.
Yeah.
With the right outfit and the right shoes, it calls for it. So
Yeah. It all
I'm gonna
depends
go
on
baggy.
fashion's not always about comfortability. Sometimes fashion is
Ooh,
is about suffering.
beauty is pain.
Beauty
That's
is
what they
pain.
say.
Yeah.
That's what they
It's
say.
it's true.
And I'm pretty comfortable, so that's why I look
Yeah.
like this.
All right.
Why is that such a hard question? That's crazy. That's like
Uh,
something you would ask in our scene that would be like, I don't know, dude.
yeah. So fuck you for putting me through that.
Yeah, I'm stressed out. Now my day's ruined. I got to cancel the rest of my day, dude. Call off work tomorrow.
Yeah. Uh, Disney Plus or Netflix?
Netflix.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I got to go Netflix. Just more variety, I think.
Sure. Yeah. Even though Disney Plus now owns Hulu and Hulu is Disney Plus.
That is true. I actually wasn't thinking about that.
I like to throw that out there after people dismiss Disney Plus so fast now.
Well, and the thing is that the Netflix movies themselves are not great from what I've seen. And like,
Sometimes it all depends.
yeah, I guess it's kind of split. There's a good Venn diagram, I guess, but like,
Yeah.
I think I would still go Netflix. I don't know what happened. I was totally a Disney kid,
Yeah.
and I love like I just saw Soul and
Hmm.
like a bunch of their newer animated movies, and like I mean, I do like I don't know. I guess it's just like I
Hey,
hate them both as corporations, so I guess I'll take the lesser, in my opinion, evil. I guess would be Netflix.
fair enough. That's fair. It's
I get
also got Stranger Things, so
this is true.
and
Which I'm excited about.
Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
So
this is true. Two
yeah.
wins,
2 wins.
two
That's two
big
big wins
wins.
right there.
Yeah, Stranger Things was great. That was a good.
That's so good.
That was
So
like one
good.
of the few shows I was excited about the next season. Like every year I was like, no, like I wish it was here, and it's very rare that I feel that way. I think the last shows was like Breaking Bad.
Hmm.
That was something that me and all my friends like got together and watched every
Yeah.
episode type of thing, and it was like a thing. We all got together and watched it, and it was fun. But yeah, and then Mr. Robot was a
Yeah.
really great show up until like the last season type of thing. So yeah,
And
we'll go Netflix, I think.
Stranger Things, like I always thought was so good. And then they introduced Eddie Munson and it took the show to an even greater level
Totally.
when they did the fucking Metallica thing. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It was sick, dude.
That was the best part of that show that's ever happened.
Yeah, they killed it. Like from sound design to acting to plot to twists to
Yeah.
characters and I mean everything. It was great. It was a
I
killer
can't
show.
I can't wait to see how they end it.
I know, dude. I know. I'm excited.
Very excited.
Good.
All right. Moving on.
All right.
Stuffed crust or deep dish pizza?
Stuffed crust. All day.
Yeah, all
Deep dish
day.
is too much. I lived in Chicago forever and I just couldn't get on board with the deep dish. It was too much for me, personally.
I think I would say I prefer like a Detroit style deep dish than a Chicago style.
Agreed. 100%.
Mm-hmm. But stuffed crust, I mean,
All day.
unless you're gonna figure out a way to do a stuffed crust deep dish pizza, then
That's got to exist, right? I
you'd
mean,
think so.
somewhere has to be.
I mean, somebody has made it.
If not, unsigned pop punk deep dish pizzas coming to you in 2026.
We're gonna have our own pizza joint
Yeah.
where we make all the fucked up stuff.
Dude, hell yeah. Could happen. You could be the next Sean Evans of unsigned pop punk,
Hey,
you know?
don't tease my heart. He's
I
a
know.
Sean Evans, man. He's a hero.
He's a dream of an interview, you know? He's just such a good guy. Such a nice guy to watch and listen to.
And just a wordsmith.
Absolutely.
I'd do anything to be as good of an interviewer as that guy.
Dude, he's killer. I love that. Yeah. He's the only reason I like care about any of that stuff is like him.
Yep.
You know, it's like half the time I don't even care about the celebrity on the show, but I watch it just to watch Sean Evans do what he does. He's like the LeBron James of interviews, you know?
I know. I model what I do as much after him as I can while still keeping my unique self.
Totally.
That's the goal anyway.
Yeah, him and Nardwar are definitely like, if I want to see an actor, actress, or musician's personality, I go to one of those interviews because I just feel like they bring out the like, you know, they bring out a comfortable side of people and like lets you see more of themselves than like a typical interview where it's just like about whatever movie's coming out or whatever album's coming out.
Yeah, when you were like, "What is this Nardwar?" Oh, you made my heart tingle a little bit there.
Hell yeah, dude! I'm glad.
All right, we got 2 left. Vans or Chuck Taylors?
Vans all day.
All right.
I look like an idiot in Chuck Taylors. I like them on other people, but not on me.
Fair. That's fair. All right. This is the last one for all the marbles.
Oh God.
The All-American Rejects or The Offspring?
The Offspring. The Offspring was just fun.
So fun. But dude, the Rejects were pretty fucking fun too, though.
They were. I think for me personally, the Offspring just had a more nostalgic, like they're
so fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
And they were very much, that's probably where the spiky hair came from.
Yeah.
Dude, was Offspring, because he had that very like spiky type of vibe, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely the Offspring. They were a blast. I mean, I still listen to them every once in a while. And I love seeing like the Offspring trending on TikTok right now.
Dude, their new album, I think, is awesome.
Really? See, I didn't even know they had a new one. I'm gonna check that out.
Just came out like a couple months ago.
And they're also one of those bands that I personally have never necessarily heard another band that I went, oh, that reminds me of the Offspring. Like they're just kind of in their own. Of course, they fit into a lot of you know genres, but like they just had their own thing. It was sweet. It was great.
I love the Offspring. I think they're really good.
Totally, yeah. Hands down the Offspring. No shade towards All American Rejects.
Yeah, no. And the Offspring's cameo in the Idle Hands movie.
Oh my God, dude. So
Chef's
good.
Kiss.
So good. I was like, wait, what? Dude? Bonus points.
When they played the fucking dance or whatever. Oh. Yeah. Also,
great random questions you collected there for sure.
Thanks. I try. All right. Well, that's it. You did it. You finished the podcast. Here's my nod to Sean Evans. Now's your chance. Tell this kid. No, let everybody know what you got going on, where they can find you, and what's next.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Skuff Micksun everywhere. SkuffMicksun, like the sun in the sky. Just because, I picked a really hard name for people to remember. I've realized, but
dude, I think it's super memorable. I think you're good.
Cool.
You got this.
Nice, dude. Thanks. So yeah, Skuff Micksun everywhere. I try to be everywhere. Tons of music videos in the process right now. I kind of took January to just set up the rest of this year the way I wanted to. But we are uploading new music as we speak. Couple new songs being mastered the past few days. So I mean, tons of new music this year. Tons of new music videos. I'm starting a couple new things on my YouTube, which I'm excited about. Um, Mainly music related. One's kind of like an audio journal for writers and poetry, spoken word heads that like that type of stuff. I'm doing like a Skuff Micksun sleep, like a sleep portion of my channel because I really like those sleep channels or like relaxation channels when I write.
Okay.
I'll listen to like meditation music,
Okay.
but
Cool.
it's gonna be like light spoken word, and it's going to be somewhat comedic because I
Okay.
am trying to work in my new like I'm trying to work in more of myself into the music, like I said, where
Yeah.
I'm not just this super serious, like detrimentally introspective. Like, that's not really me. I like to fuck around and have fun. I really don't take life that serious. But I do like capturing moments and emotions in the music. So, like, yeah, a lot more on my YouTube for sure. So if you're not in tune with that, please be there. Tons of shows, and for sure one, if not two projects this year. Um, we're looking at two full projects, but there will be more music this year than the past few years, which I'm super excited about. Lots of painting, lots of murals. I'm just trying to create as much as possible, live life like an actual human being as well as an artist and crazy person, and you know yeah, man, do the best, the most I can do with keeping my sanity all year.
Oh yeah, man.
I don't have dates for releases because we are literally uploading this week, but I can tell you much sooner than later. And yeah, if y'all stick with me, I got so much on the way. So
Dude, super excited. I cannot wait to see what 2025 brings you.
thanks, man.
And
I
and
appreciate you
and what
guys
you
so
bring
much.
me.
Yeah, don't you worry. Actually, I might need your address. I'm gonna send you something after this talk.
Yeah.
So
So
give
is
it to
it
me
some
after.
Skyline chili?
Yeah, I just send you some cold food
some
from
some
Ohio.
fucking chili slop. It'll be great.
My specialty meal, which is French fries, baked potato, and mashed
Dude,
potatoes.
don't tease me with a good time.
I got you, bro. Don't worry. But no, man, before you go, like I just want to say, dude, your guys' platform is fucking awesome, dude. I love watching
Thank you.
the YouTube videos. I love listening to you guys. I love the support that you've shown from, I mean, like 2 years now almost it feels, or maybe a little less, but like, dude, it's been a minute, and I'm glad we finally got to talk. And like, all I could say is thank you guys for putting on, the little guys, because we're trying our
Yeah,
best out here,
dude.
and it
Feel you.
means the world, man. The support means the world.
Well, thank you so much. I your support means everything. So we
You got me. I'm in your corner always, for sure.
best friends forever now.
Do we just become best friends?
Yeah, we did. All right.
Top bunk.
You can have it. I'm scared of heights.
I
No.
should take the bottom bunk, dude. I'm a shorty, so I'll
Yeah.
be running and jumping.
Well, that's good because I love Top Bunk. I
Perfect.
was just trying to be, just be easy.
That was our
Okay.
first fight. Easy.
It was so easy.
That's what I love about you. You're just easy.
It's just easy, man. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. This has been another episode of the Unsigned Pop Punk Podcast, and we'll see you all on Monday.
Thank you so much for checking out the show. Please hit that like, subscribe, or follow button so you never miss an episode. And thank you to those who already are. Please rate and review the show to help the show be found by new people. And if you're in the position to help us grow, head on over to our website where you can find merch, our Patreon, and other ways that you can help at www.unsignedpoppunk.com. Let us know in the comments who else you'd like to see on the show and what other content you would like to see. Thank you so much for spending your time with us.